I'm live. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the video. My room is slowly getting darker and darker. It's still the same day for me as the past few days, but the sun is rises on my window. But as it goes to like noon, it's not less light is going into my window. Anyways, today is a really crazy day. It's day 200, and I'm only 4 chapters. Well, I'm only one Bible video away from the New Testament. That's pretty crazy. And so let's get started in Zechariah. I'll be just reading chapters 13, 14 today. And then tomorrow, I'm going to read the final chapters before the New Testament. So let's just get started. Chapter 13, 14, Zechariah. Chapter 13. God's people cleansed. On that day, a fountain will be opened for the house of David and for the residents of Jerusalem, to wash away sin and impurity. On that day, this is declaration of the Lord of armies. I will remove the names of the idols from the land, and they will no longer be remembered. I'll banish the prophets and unclean spirits from the land. If a man still prophesies, his father and his mother who bore him will say to him, "You cannot remain alive because you have spoken a lie in the name of the Lord." When he prophesies, his father and his mother who bore him will pierce him through. On that day, every prophet will be ashamed of his vision when he prophesies. They will not put on a hairy cloak in order to deceive. He will say, "I am not a prophet. I work in the land where a man purchased me as a servant since my youth." If someone asks him, "What are these wounds in your chest?" then he'll answer, "I received the wounds in the house of my friends, swore awake against my shepherd, against the man who is my associate." This is the declaration of the Lord of armies. Strike the shepherd, and the sheep will be scattered. I'll turn my hand against the little ones and the whole land. This is the Lord's declaration. 2/3 will be cut off and die, but a third will be left in it. I'll put a third of the fire and refine them as silver and refined. And I'll test them as gold is tested. They'll call on my name, and I'll answer them. I'll say that they are my people, and they'll say, "The Lord is our God." Chapter 14. The Lord's triumph and reign. Look, a day belonging to the Lord is coming when plunder taken from you will be divided in your presence. I'll gather the nations against Jerusalem for battle. The city will be captured, the houses looted, and the women raped. Half the city will go into exile, but the rest of the people will not be removed from the city. Then the Lord will go out and fight against those nations as he fights on a day of battle. On the day of his feet will stand on the Mount of Olives, which faces Jerusalem on the east. The Mount of Olives will be split in half from the east to west, forming huge valleys so that half of the mountain will move from the north and half to the south. You'll flee by mountains, and extended says you'll flee by you'll flee as you fled from the earthquake in the days of King Uzziah of Judah. Then the Lord God will come and all the holy ones with him. On that day there will be no light, the sunlight and the moonlight will diminish. It will be a unique day known only to the Lord, without day or night, but there will be light at evening. On that day the living water will flow out from Jerusalem, half of it toward the eastern sea and the other half towards the western sea, and summer and winter alike. On that day the Lord will become the king over the whole earth. Lord alone, in his name alone. All land would give it to Rimmon south of Jerusalem will be changed to a plain, but Jerusalem will be raised up and will remain on the side of the Benjamin gate, to the place of the first gate, to the corner gate, and from the tower of Hananiel to the real winepress. People will live there, and never again there will be a curse to complete destruction. So Jerusalem will dwell in security. This will be a plague in which the Lord strikes all the people who have warred against Jerusalem. Their flesh will not rot while they stand on their feet, their eyes will not rot in their sockets, and their tongues will not rot in their mouths. On that day, a great panic from the Lord will be among them, so that each will seize his hand of another, and the hand will rise against one another. Judah will also fight at Jerusalem, and the wealth of all the surrounding nations will be collected, gold, silver, and clothing in great abundance. And the same plague as the previous one will strike the horses, mules, camels, donkeys, and all the animals that are found in camps and those camps. Then all survivors of the nations that came to Jerusalem will go up year after year to worship the King, the Lord of armies, and celebrate the festival of shelters. Should any of the families of the earth not go up to Jerusalem to worship the King, the Lord of armies, rain will not fall on them, and if the people of Egypt will not go up, and into the rain will not fall on them either. On them, this is the plague of the Lord inflicts on the nations who do not go up to celebrate the festival shelters. This will be the punishment of Egypt and all the nations that do not go up to celebrate the festival shelters. On that day, the words holy to the Lord will be in the bells of horses, the pots in the household. The Lord will be like the sprinkling basins before the altar. Every pot in Jerusalem and in Judah will be holy to the Lord of armies. All you sacrifice to come in and use the pots to cook in. And on that day, there will no longer be a Canaanite in the house of the Lord of armies. That's all the reading I'm going to do for today. So, I'm going to summarize Zechariah because it has a really nice built-in summary. A summary of Zechariah. Zechariah 1 through 8 deals with the rebuilding of the temple after the exile, the priesthood, and the future of Jerusalem. Chapters 9 through 14 deal mostly with the distant future and coming messianic kingdom. Zechariah organized his book around 8 visions, 4 oracles, and 2 pronouncements. The main themes of the night visions are God's judgments on the nations, the election and future blessing of Jerusalem, purification of land, rebuilding the temple, and the leadership of Zerubbabel and Joshua. The 4 oracles in the central and most prominent section of the book, they describe a messianic prototype receiving the signs of his office. Zechariah is told to make royal crowns that are to be placed in the temple as a reminder of what God is going to do. The coming Messiah will be both king and priest. The 2 final pronouncements deal with God's establishing of his kingdom on earth. Well, that's Zechariah for you. Hope you've had a great day so far, and you have a great rest of your day. I hope that you'll join me tomorrow as I read Malachi, because to put this in perspective, you probably can't see it. That's where I'm at right now, and that's the New Testament. If I open it up, I'm 4 pages away from the New Testament. I'm just on 2 actual pages away, so 4 pages. 4 pages away from the New Testament in terms of reading. That is crazy to me. And so I hope you join me as I get to the New Testament, and then as I read Matthew and Canada. But anyway.